This is like not a joke. This is not a game. This is not just some celebrity collaboration. I'm ready for y'all apology. You know, we're creating. I fought a lot. I've lost my best friend. I lost my family. And I'm here still creating.
You know that I am really, really obsessed with the Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson saga. I am. I don't care. I don't really follow pop culture at all. This story I'm really, really taken with, because I think it actually cuts down to some of the core political issues in America, and also because Kanye West is very, very funny, and also because Pete Davidson is just not very likable. There's a headline, comes out of People magazine, Pete Davidson is in trauma therapy because of the taunts from Kanye West. The attention and negativity coming from Kanye and his antics is a trigger for Davidson, and he's had to seek out help. Davidson has been in therapy, trauma therapy, since April, in large part due to his beef with Kanye West. I'm not surprised that Pete Davidson is in therapy. Pete Davidson probably should be in therapy. He's had kind of a difficult life. His dad famously died in 9/11, sort of heroically. I think he was a New York firefighter. He goes in on 9/11 as a hero of that day. And so this is when Pete Davidson's a kid. Obviously, that's a trauma. And he's engaged in all sorts of destructive behaviors. And now, what, because Kanye West makes fun of him on Instagram, that's it? That's what sends him over the edge? No, I'm sure the guy's got a lot of issues. But Kanye West was absolutely right, is absolutely right, to taunt Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson played a large role in breaking up Kanye West's marriage. And that's a no-no, folks. That's a no-no. You don't get to do that. Marriage is sacred and the fundamental building block of society, and some dirty-looking SNL actor does not have the right to come in and take your wife from you. And then he also taunted Kanye West. He would send him pictures, apparently, while lying in bed with Kim Kardashian and say, "Oh, I'm in bed with your wife, ha, ha, ha." No, you don't get to do that. This story, the reason I'm obsessed with it is it's about a lot more than Kanye West and Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. And yes, I'm aware all of these people have lived extremely colorful, eccentric, in many ways, not particularly virtuous lives. But that's even more to the point, because while they are really wild, crazy examples of Hollywood extreme and decadence, in many ways, they're very human. In many ways, they're representative of a lot of Americans who have kind of messy lives and who have had messy love lives and unclear and conflicting understandings of how we ought to behave. And they're seeing that play out. And all I know is, through these imperfect vessels, you saw Kanye West at least trying to save his marriage, at least saying that he wanted to save his marriage. He was the representative of that. And this was after he had some kind of conversion or reversion to Christianity and was very public about that. This is after he espoused some broadly conservative political views and social views. Then you had Kim Kardashian go into a magazine and say, in my 40s, I'm just going to live for me and I'm just going to do whatever I want. It's about me, 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 which she's the voice of a generation. That's why she's so popular. And then you had Pete Davidson come in here and go and steal another man's wife. So shameful, so dishonorable. And you think, among these three people, who am I going to pick? I'm going to say Kanye. Now, some people will then
engaging as human beings in learning new things, in furthering ideas that we already have, and in disagreeing in civil ways. You know, I feel like we've lost the ability to argue with other people whilst still maintaining their humanity. And that's something that I think is really scary.
Yeah.
I think as a society, we have to know how to argue whilst still understanding and treating the person we're arguing with as a human being.
Well, I think that's a good segue to talk about. That's exactly how you handled the Kanye situation, in sort of, trying to, civilly engage with him when you did have your moment with him. When you look at that and how that all went down now, how do you think that went, and what's sort of your reaction now?
Well, I think it went the way it went. I'm often surprised by how certain things will blow up when I don't necessarily intend them to. I think I've just become more comfortable speaking my mind in situations where I feel like the mob forgets that we're dealing with human beings. You know, it's easy to stand on the sidelines, see a train crash coming, and say nothing about it. And then after the train crashes off the tracks, we say, oh, I saw that coming. Well, then why didn't you say anything? You know, I think as people, especially if you have some sort of platform, you have some sort of obligation to speak a truth. Say something, you know, see something, say something. And I also understand that human beings are a paradox. You know, we can love people who we hate. We can hate people who we love. You know, human beings as a whole are a complicated paradox. And so I don't like to live in a world where we constantly discard human beings like pieces of trash. You know, I can live in a world where I say Kanye West is somebody who has an indelible impression on my life. You know, his music has literally taken me through different periods of my journey. You know, but then there are also moments where I go like, man, Kanye, you're going off the rails here. But I can still say that I care for you as a human being. That's why I'm speaking out. I'm not going to not care for you. I'm not going to hate you all of a sudden, you know, and that's how I try and see the world. That's how I would hope people would see me, is if I've engaged you as a human being, and if you like me, or if you'd like anyone in your life, I hope you'd have the ability